How Jay-Z became wealthy? The secret behind his success. What if I told you that one of the greatest minds in music didn't come from a conservatory, but from a housing project where survival was the first lesson and silence was the soundtrack? What if the man who once sold crack on Brooklyn corners later sold out Madison Square Garden, mentored billion-dollar brands, and married the most powerful woman in pop? How did a quiet kid from Marcy Projects become hip-hop's first billionaire? Why did he stab a record executive in a Manhattan nightclub and still walk away a mogul? What secrets were whispered in that infamous elevator with Solange? And how did a feud with Nass nearly tear hip-hop apart, only to end in one of the most iconic reconciliations ever seen on stage? This isn't just a story, it's the blueprint of a legend. From subway cyphers to Roc Nation boardrooms, from heartbreak to lemonade, from reasonable doubt to unreasonable success, Jay-Z's journey is a masterclass in reinvention, resilience, and raw ambition. We'll dive deep into. It was December 4th, 1969, and the Marcy Projects in Brooklyn weren't exactly handing out welcome baskets. They were handing out reality checks. Into this concrete jungle came Sean Corey Carter, the youngest of 4 kids, born to Gloria Carter and Adnis Reeves. But this wasn't a family portrait. It was a survival sketch. Adnis Reeves, Jay-Z's father, was a man haunted. After the tragic death of his younger brother, Adnis spiraled into alcoholism and heroin addiction. The grief consumed him, and by the time Sean was 11 years old, Adnis vanished from their lives. No goodbye note, no child support, just absence. Jay-Z later said, "I never wanted to be attached to something and get that taken away again." This wound became lyrical ink. Songs like Where Have You Been and Adnis were not just music. They were therapy. Jay-Z wasn't loud as a kid. He was observant, quiet like a sniper, watching the world, absorbing its rhythms. His mother, Gloria, once said he'd bang out beats on the kitchen table like it was a drum pad. So she bought him a boombox, and that was it. That was the spark. It was like handing Einstein a chalkboard, she said. He started rhyming, battling in school cafeterias, and recording on a heavy tape recorder with a makeshift mic. The streets were his studio. The crack epidemic was his curriculum, and he graduated with honors in hustle. In the late 1980s, Sean adopted the nickname Jazzy, a nod to his smooth style and early swagger. But as he linked up with mentor Jazz O, the name evolved. Inspired by the J and Z subway lines that ran near his home and as homage to Jazz O, he became Jay-Z. Their track, The Originators, landed them on Yo MTV Raps, but the industry was colder than a New York winter. Labels weren't biting. Jay-Z was too street, too smart, too real. So what did he do? In 1996, Jay-Z teamed up with Damon Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke to form Rockefeller Records. It was a middle finger to the gatekeepers. Their first release? Reasonable Doubt. And oh, what a debut. This wasn't just rap, it was Shakespeare and Timberlands. Dead Presidents 2, Can't Knock the Hustle, Devils. Each track was a sermon from the streets. Jay-Z wasn't asking for permission. He was demanding attention. By 1998, Jay-Z dropped Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, featuring the iconic Hard Knock Life ghetto anthem. Sampling Annie was a bold move, but it worked. He won his first Grammy, and the world finally caught up to what Brooklyn already knew. But fame came with friction. In December 1999, at the Kit Kat Club in Manhattan, Jay-Z confronted Lance Rivera, a music executive rumored to have leaked Volume 3, Life and Times of S. Carter before its release. Emotions ran hot. Champagne bottles flew. Rivera was stabbed. Jay-Z pleaded guilty to third-degree assault in 2001 and received 3 years probation. But here's the twist. Rivera later revealed Jay-Z didn't actually stab him. It was someone else in the entourage. Jay-Z was there, yes, and heartbroken. Rivera recalled him saying, "You broke my heart." It was a dark chapter, but not the final one. On September 11, 2001, while America mourned, Jay-Z released The Blueprint. Produced by Kanye West and Just Blaze, it was a sonic cathedral. EZO, HOVA, became an anthem. Takeover ignited a legendary feud with Nass, who responded with Ether. Hip-hop fans were divided like Moses parting the Red Sea. Jay-Z's diss, "You ain't Levitt, you witnessed it from your folks' pad, scribbled in your notepad and created your life." Nass clapped back, "You a rapper's version of Cisco." It was lyrical warfare, and it was glorious. It was the early 2000s, and hip-hop was a battlefield. Jay-Z dropped Takeover in 2001, a surgical diss aimed at Nass, questioning his street cred and lyrical relevance. Nass responded with Ether, a track so scathing it practically came with burn cream. "You a rapper's version of Cisco," Nass spat, and fans gasped. Lines were drawn. Barbershops became war rooms. Twitter didn't exist yet, but if it had, it would have melted. But Jay-Z wasn't just a rapper, he was evolving into a statesman. So on October 27, 2005, at the I Declare War concert, he shocked the world. Instead of declaring lyrical war, he declared peace. Nass walked on stage, they performed Dead Presidents, and The World Is Yours. The crowd lost its collective mind. It was reconciliation, not retaliation. Jay-Z had turned beef into brotherhood. In 2003, Jay-Z released the Black Album, a supposed swan song. "If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son," he rapped, and then dropped the mic, literally. He announced his retirement, and fans mourned like it was hip-hop's funeral. But Jay-Z's version of retirement was like Michael Jordan's, more of a halftime break. By 2004, he was president of Def Jam, signing Rihanna, Neo, and mentoring a young, fiery producer named Kanye West. He wasn't just making hits, he was making stars. Jay-Z's business acumen was sharper than his punchlines. He launched Roc in 1999, a streetwear brand that sold for $204 million, the 40/40 Club in 2003, a luxury sports bar chain, Roc Nation in 2008, a full-service entertainment agency managing artists like J. Cole, Rihanna, and Meek Mill. In 2015, he acquired Aspiro, the parent company of Tidal, a streaming service built to empower artists and challenge the Spotify-Apple duopoly. By 2019, Jay-Z became hip-hop's first billionaire, thanks to music, fashion, liquor, Hello, Ace of Spades and Douce, and investments in tech and real estate. Jay-Z married Beyoncé Knowles in 2008, forming the most powerful couple in music since Sonny and Cher. If Cher had a Bayhive and Sonny owned champagne. But in 2014, the world saw what happens when family drama meets surveillance footage. At the Met Gala, Beyoncé's sister Solange Knowles was caught on camera attacking Jay-Z in an elevator. No audio, just fury. Rumors of infidelity swirled like paparazzi around a limo. Then came Lemonade in 2016. Beyoncé's visual album was a poetic, painful exploration of betrayal. "You better call Becky with the good hair," she sang, and the internet exploded. Jay-Z responded with 444 in 2017, his most vulnerable work. "I apologize. Often womanize, took for my child to be born, see through a woman's eyes." It was raw. It was redemptive. In 2018, they released Everything Is Love, a sonic reconciliation. The throne was intact. Jay-Z has won 24 Grammy Awards, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021, and was named the greatest rapper of all time by Billboard and Vibe in 2023. But even kings face criticism. In 2019, Jay-Z partnered with the NFL to lead its social justice initiative and revamp the Super Bowl halftime show. This came amid Colin Kaepernick's protest against police brutality. Critics called it a betrayal. Jay-Z responded, "I think we've moved past kneeling. I think it's time for action." But before you dive into our next story, and trust me, it's a wild one starring the lyrical juggernaut himself, Eminem, don't forget. Follow us for more jaw-dropping journeys. Subscribe to stay locked in with the legends. Click that notification bell so you never miss a beat when we drop another fire episode. We've got stories that punch harder than Slim Shady's verses, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Stay tuned. Eminem's origin story is about to hit like a Detroit cypher at midnight.